Hi everybody, it's Andy here from Stockdale and Lego. Thanks once again for tuning into our YouTube channel. Today is a very quick one. We're in a market right now where we are seeing a lot of our clients see a lot of offers at various points during the campaign and sometimes even before we've even started onto the market. And what I wanted to just bring into focus a little bit is that whole topic of accepting or rejecting an offer as and when it comes through in writing, okay? Because obviously at the end of the day, whichever offer you do decide to accept or whichever ones you do decide to knock back, you've got to consider the potential consequences and potential outcomes of doing one of three things. So, real key question that you need to ask yourself with every single offer, and please do this, please get into a good habit of doing this, because even if an offer comes through that is a distance apart from what it is that you're wanting to actually achieve, you've still got to go through this process, because then when an offer comes through that is very close or on the mark in terms of what you want to achieve going forward, it's very important that you've got this good habit in practice so that you make exactly the right decision, exactly the right time for you, your family, and your decision making. So the real key question when any offer comes in, this is the one big question you've got to ask yourself, is how will it affect our goal? Now, I've harped on about this in previous episodes with regards to what is it that you want to actually achieve that has resulted in you selling your property, and this is that big goal that got this whole process started in the first place, okay? So whenever an offer comes in, you want to be thinking about how will it affect our goal, all right? And then you want to break it down into three little parts, okay? So very simply, you've got three options when it comes to an offer. You can either accept it and deal's done. You can reject it and therefore the buyer will obviously go off and find other properties or what have you, or you can look to try and negotiate with that purchaser as well. What I would advise, and this again is a very good habit to get into, even if it's an offer that is an absolute Monty, so an offer that's beyond expectations and what have you, I would still advise that you go through this process, even if it's a very quick one, but then at least you will absolutely affirm that the decision that you're making is the correct one for you, your family, and your investments. So what you need to talk about and discuss with all the decision makers present is the consequences of accepting the offer, the consequences of rejecting the offer, and the consequences should you decide to negotiate with that purchaser. Obviously, if you've got a nice open relationship with your agent, which all being well you should have, then absolutely discuss all three options with your agent, because what you are looking for ideally is for if you say, well, what if we negotiated with the purchaser, and you would get an upfront impression from the agent as to how you think that purchaser may react should you negotiate in this way or that way, okay? So you really need to look for some good upfront and transparent feedback from your agent when it comes to each one of these three actions that you decide to take. So the consequences, what happens if we accept it? Do you think we'll miss out on any future offers, so on and so forth? What happens if we reject it? How much longer do you think we might be on the market for? What other interest is out there? And if we negotiate, how hard do we go? Do we want to negotiate based on one part or another part, on all three on all parts of the contract? That's where the agent should be earning his coin. He should be earning his dollars right there, because he should be giving you the very best advice based on the situation and the state of play as it is with the purchases and the marketing that's out there for your property. If you do decide to go down the negotiation track, obviously the one thing that I really wanted to point out, and it's something that sounds very obvious, but a lot of people tend to get caught up in just the price element of an offer, but you've got to bear in mind that any negotiation process, it's not just about the price. It's based on the price, the settlement dates as well, so the amount of time before the keys change hands, and also the conditions of the offer, whether the property is subject to finance, whether the offer is subject to a building inspection, sorry, that's just Rush coughing in the background there, or whether it's subject to a pest inspection, whether there are any other terms and conditions on the offer that obviously affect the strength of that contract of sale. Okay, so make sure if you do decide to go into a negotiation process, make sure you look at each element of the contract. Make sure that, okay, well, maybe if we accept their longer settlement period, if it's a particularly long settlement, if they're tied into a lease or something, for example, okay, if that's their settlement period, we're happy to accept a longer settlement, but they will need to satisfy us with a price that reflects the inconvenience that it places on us. And again, crucial that you get your advice from the agent on that one there, because all being well, through the pre-qualification and the offer drawing up process, he will have ascertained from the purchasers as to what their situation is, where we could potentially look to capitalize and make sure that we get the absolute best deal for you as the vendor and ultimately as the agent's client. Okay, so have a quick think about those. Real key one, and I'll reiterate it once again, with any offer, get into the good habit of asking yourself the big question: how will it affect our goals? Okay, have a great week, enjoy yourselves, nice and sunny. Oh shit.